What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Sabers, and this is the overview video for the Desert Wanderer kit, a lightsaber inspired by Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber from the recent 2022 Disney Plus series Kenobi in collaboration with Sabers. So this is how you will be receiving the kit from us. It's our standard sort of matte black packaging with our white wireframe model and Sabers logo on the back. And this video is just to serve as a helpful video to go over what to expect when ordering, what options you can have from the product listing, how some of the finishes look, and general questions that some of you may have. As you guys know already, the Saber Armory is targeted towards DIY builders, and therefore the kits that we will offer will be empty kits and also install kits. What I mean by install kits is that each of the install kit options will include all of the electronic parts that you need to install the hilt. It's not pre-installed for you. You will require to do the soldering, and you will be required to do any assembly that is involved. For example, if you bought the master chassis kit, you would be required to assemble and install that. Obviously it's cheaper this way, and we like to encourage people to do their own sort of builds, being that we've been part of the DIY community for a long time now. There are solutions. If you do want one built for you, you can get in touch with us. We can give some recommendations of installers that we've got all around the world and help you with that. Similar to what we did with the Ray Scavengers and the Thrawn Hunters. So let's jump right into the kit. We'll take the lid off and we're going to go through some of the accessories. We've got the blade holder extension. So this piece is used for when you're using your blade. It has a slight extension on it to give more support. It has your blade retention screws, and essentially this is what you want to be using if you are using a blade. Now, in order to remove that from the hilt, or swap it over I might say, you want to hold the base here and just unscrew like that, and you want to screw this piece on. Just threads on like that, nice and easy, and that gives you the added support you need for your blade. Now, whilst we're in the blade area, I'll just take this off. You'll see we've got a blade plug insert, a nice little accurate blade plug insert. You'll notice that this has a straight through hole, as you can see on the blade plug insert. So what we've added to the kits ourselves is small blade plug diffusion discs that we machined and made. That way it can go inside the blade plug like that, and it diffuses the light when you're using your NeoPixel connector. I thought that this would be quite useful to include in the kit. So this is a nice little accessory. When I put mine in, I just put a dab of glue on the edge around here, put this in, and it sticks nicely. And that way you don't see any of the pogo pins, and it diffuses the light when you're using it. So that's going to be included in our kit that we'll be offering. That'll just be inside this bag. Whilst I've got these accessories in front of me here, we'll have to include one of our new challenge coins. So you'll be getting a gold Saber Armory Sabers challenge coin with every kit. We've also got a set of O-rings, 2 different sizes. We've included a pair each, just in case you lose one or one gets perished. That is so you can clock the cover tech to be screen accurate. So as you can see, it's a bit off alignment right now, but what you want to do is you want to unscrew this, and you can choose from 2 of the sizes of the O-rings, like so. So I'm going to try one of the smaller size ones. We've given you options here. We'll put it over this, like that, and we'll screw this on, and we'll see if we can clock it. So that size isn't going to do it, because you can see even after tightening it's more off than it was before. So we'll take this one off. This isn't a size suitable for us, and we'll go with the next size up, which is the bigger one. That's included because the threads will vary. We'll slide that one on, and here we go. This one's perfect. So we'll tighten it to there. 90 degrees we want to have it at, which is a bit more, and there we go. We've clocked that properly, and I'll just put that screen accurate plug back in and this emitter back on. So that's what that O-ring's for, allows you to get that perfect clocking. Just to go over the hilt itself, we've got a real copper neck, steel emitter which is plated to prevent any corrosion, a real brass emitter, we've got chrome plated clamp band and anodized black booster and grip section, nice weighty chrome plated brass pommel and clamp, that's why you get the nice weight, and we've also got the nice clamp cards here, and spring loaded plungers which obviously allow for a fully removable chassis, really useful. So we've clocked that cover tech and we've gone over some of the accessories, so we'll keep going over them. Like I said, we've got our blade extension emitter, so that's included. We've also got the static display pommel cap. So there are going to be some of you who don't want to add electronics, they just want an empty hilt only to display on their shelf, and you can use this static pommel cap to display it. We've gone over the included challenge coin. We've also got the switch PCB. So if you are doing an install that's using the Eco or Eco CC or Master chassis, you will need this switch PCB. It's mounted on the chassis. We've also got 2 screws which are for chassis rails. So if you are doing an install, you want to be swapping the screws that are under the activation box that are underneath here. You want to be swapping the screws that are underneath here with these screws. The way that you do that is you will have to peel this off. It's nice and thick, so don't worry. You'll peel this off like so. And you've got 2 Phillips screws there. Take those out and there'll be 2 screws underneath. Those are the screws that you want to swap, and that way when you put the chassis in, it slides along that rail. So just thought I'd mention that for anyone doing an install. And you get your Allen key, which is your blade retention Allen key should you wish to use a blade. It's just a 1.5mm Allen key, and that's included. So we've got the Allen key, we've got the gold challenge coin that you'll get if you order from us, and you've got your switch PCB, you've got your screws in case you're doing an install, you'll need these for the chassis. You've got our blade plug diffuser which we've included with the hilts if you buy it from us, and we've got the O-rings that we're including should you buy the kits from us. So we just wanted to add a few extras in there just in case, because as you know, we're a DIY focused supplier, so we tried to think of everything to include if you were getting the kits from us. So that's a general overview of the clean kit. As I said, if you are going to be ordering this and you buy it clean, this is exactly what you'll get. The hilts do not come with weathering as standard, they just come standard clean. However, we partnered with Multiverse Props to be able to offer weathered hilts, and this is the result of his weathering. He's just done an absolutely fantastic job at the weathering for these. He's taken so much care and attention to detail, and it's not just chemicals, you know, he's done paints, he's even painted the neck. So I don't know if you can see, if I zoom in a little bit, it's a slightly different finish to the brass, and he's matched that up really well, and he's done the scorching on the emitter, because if I compare one of the emitter as it comes as standard, you know, there is a different finish there. You can see it's a bit more glossy on the part as it comes as standard, but Josh has gone to real lengths to get that accurate and to get it as it should be. The dirt on the neck, the markings on the grenade section, he's done some black acrylic washes everywhere. I mean, he's got a specific process for doing this, but it's just absolutely brilliant. And you can see the blade plug diffuser installed in this one here. Honestly, I'm so happy with what he's done. I mean, the work just speaks for itself. So I hope that most people take advantage of the weathering option if they are going to be buying the kits, because Josh does such a good job. He'll be doing about 25 of them per week. The run is about 200 hilts. So it's a maximum of sort of 8 weeks lead time if you are going to be ordering. Obviously, the sooner you order, you're first on the list. So those will be sent out to Josh and returned to us each week. Really happy with how this came out. So definitely consider this as an option if you are going to be buying the kits. It just adds to the authenticity of it so much. Now, I'm sure many of you are wondering what the options are for the chassis and what they all mean. So we've got the Master chassis here. We've got the Eco Crystal Chamber chassis here, and we've got the Eco chassis here. And many of you ask what the differences are between them, so let's go over it. The Eco chassis is a PLA 3D printed chassis. It's very simple in design. It's simply functional. So it's the right shapes that it needs to be, does the job, holds the board, holds the speaker, holds the switch PCB, room for the battery, and your NeoPixel connector at the top there. And that's a fully removable chassis. You'll simply slide it in and out. So you've got your battery, we've got one of our gold battery wraps on here. You slide it in.
Only when the eyes are closed can you truly see.
Like so. As I said, you'll be building these yourself. You'll get all the parts to be able to have an eco chassis like this. And all you'll do is once you've done your install, you can slide the chassis in like this. We've got our light being diffused there. And that is the eco chassis with your NeoPixel connector installed up here and blade side PCB installed here. It's a really nice simple install. You can sort of see the simplicity of this chassis, and that's how easy it is to get started. If you want a relatively simple install, this is the way to go. Just a real simple chassis, nothing too fancy about it, just serves its purpose. So we'll take the battery out. Now the Eco CC chassis is a little bit more fancy. We've got some more details on here. We've got a crystal chamber. As you can see, we've got some multiple coloured PLA filaments. Again, it's plastic. We've got some brass tubes running behind here, some brass rods running through the chamber, and we've got some 3D printed crystals. This adds a little bit more flair without having to go to the lengths of a more expensive metal chassis. So we can slide the battery in here, flick the kill switch.
I'm sorry, Eric, for all of it.
And we get some chassis features, crystal chamber features, something that you can actually look at and enjoy the design. Bit more Star Wars universe. Nice little pulsing crystal there. Turn it on. Operates the same. Got the crystals flashing there. And again, it slides in like so. Timer goes on. And you get all the same features as before. And that's the Eco CC chassis. The CC essentially stands for crystal chamber, and all we mean when we say eco really is that it's printed with FDM printing using PLA, and there's no metal printed parts or metal parts to it really, except for the tubes and the rods. So it just adds a bit more aesthetics to the design without needing to spend obviously a lot more money on 3D printed metals. So we'll put that away. And now we have the metal master chassis by Goth3 Designs. I've got the early sample of the Desert Wanderer here. The Eco and Eco CC chassis are cross compatible, but unfortunately the Metal Master isn't cross compatible with the Eco chassis. What I mean by that is if you bought this kit and decided later, let's say you bought an Eco kit and you decided later that you wanted to upgrade to a Metal Master, you would have to change the pieces that are up in the grenade section because the distances are slightly different. Now this chamber is pretty elite. We've got metal 3D printed pieces, many rods, accent LEDs, hinges that open to reveal the chassis, the crystal spins. We've got OLED screens, we've got the upgraded V3 connectors, and we've got these battery hatches that allow you to access the battery like this, and also hatches for accessing the soundboard here, like so. Let's go ahead and turn it on.
Hello there.
So we can see we've got some LEDs pulsing there. We've got our screen, our OLED screen going. This is a more advanced install, but we do have recommended installers who can install these. We've got some gesture controls programmed on the Profi. That's all set by the programming, not to do with the chassis itself. There we go. We've got the crystal spinning. I can turn off one of the lights We zoom in a little bit. We've got the crystal chamber spinning right here, which you can choose not to have spinning if you didn't want to, or set blade styles to not do that. We've got accent LEDs near the profie, the LEDs at the top. We've got accent LED strips at the bottom there, all metal pieces, weathered and aged. It's just a stunning piece of engineering and design by Goth 3 Designs. And we unscrew this. We can slide the chassis in. Nicely working, and if you want to be able to show it off to people and say you've got the ultimate Kenobi lightsaber, this is what you can impress them with. And turn it off like that. We've got some pulsing effects whilst it's off. Just a really amazing chassis there from Goth 3 Designs. Turn this light back on. And that is the difference between each of the chassis options. As I said, it will require assembly by the user. We've got Eco CC, and we've got the Metal Master. All three amazing chamber solutions for this hilt, from less expensive to a moderately expensive to a premium kind. But depending on where you're beginning your lightsaber journey, you could always start off with an Eco, and then maybe later decide you want to upgrade to an Eco crystal chamber. And then if you decide you want to gut the whole thing and do a complete overhaul, you can go with the Metal Master. And it's been beautifully aged and patinaed by Goth 3 Designs here to give it that sort of in-universe look. So there we have it, guys. That is a general overview of the Desert Wanderer lightsaber kit, launching tomorrow, Saturday, July 30th at 6 PM BST. The listing is already on the website. I've put a link in the description below. Please take the time now to read through it all, understand everything before you purchase, make yourself familiar with all of the lead times, the options, and everything before the launch tomorrow. So if you're watching this and getting excited and getting prepared, read through that information, and that way you know exactly how to proceed with your purchase before the launch actually happens, and you don't have to worry about missing any information by rushing at the launch tomorrow. If you've got any questions between now and then, feel free to shoot me an email. If there's anything that perhaps I've missed in this video, please just let me know. Be happy to answer your questions in the comments below or answer any emails. And with that being said, I really look forward to seeing you guys install these kits and build them. And if you need any assistance with installations or recommendations, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks very much, guys. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.